So on the go trade, I saw that price was actually rejecting this 4-hour zone and then closing with lower highs. So I entered on the third candle when it made another lower high and it flipped bearish. However, after that I got stopped out when this next candle made this stop wick. I wasn't really on the charts after that, but there was another re-entry at this point here when price continued to consolidate around the 50% level, and when it created that lower high, that was actually the next entry I could have taken shots. So that was in line with the volume timing. So once it actually makes the flip bearish, I could have taken it down towards this area here. So this would have been TP1 at the 50% level, and then potentially looking to ride it down towards 1780. So this was the trade that I missed on the retest of the 4-hour zone. So on the next trade on GJ, I saw price coming towards this 4-hour zone here, and then it was respecting my level of 152.200 on the 50%, closing lower with slight lower highs. So I dropped down to the 15, took my entry when price actually came into this area here, created a lower high on the 15, and that's where I took my entry short, but ranged for a bit, came back up to grab the liquidity above these highs again with this candle. So as it was creating lower highs on the 15 and the 1 hour, I left the trade alone. So then after that it came back up to get my stop loss, and then I think it is looking like it wants to go up towards the next daily zone over at 153. So that will probably be a trade for tomorrow. This trade on the 27th of July, so I saw that price was respecting my 4-hour zone even after this big bearish candle. This second candle didn't create a higher low, so I waited another hour for the 4-hour close, and when this next one created the higher lows and flipped bullish, that's when I took my entries long. So because price was really choppy going up, I was trailing my stop loss once it actually broke this highs over here on the 15-minute, and I placed my stop loss below this 15-minute zone that I had, which finally got stopped out here in profit. So this trade ended up netting me 0.63R. This was the trade on GJ on the 30th of July. So I saw that price, this is the 1-hour zone, the bigger zone is actually the 4-hour. So I saw that price came back up again to tap into my 1-hour zone, which is also near my 4-hour 50. So previously it had already tapped before, and I saw the slowdown in the momentum. So that's why I took the short trade when this next candle actually flipped bearish. However, after that we can see that price immediately came up and then stopped me out on the next trade. So I think in this case, because price actually had tapped before to this area, it might have been a bit weaker, hence maybe I shouldn't have taken this trade. But given that I know that this is a 4-hour zone, I've also seen that sometimes the 50% level tends to get tapped a few times first before price goes down, which was why when I saw the hourly closing with a lower high on this candle here, I took a chance on the shorts. But risk management wise, I did size down on the trade, so I took this for a negative 1R at a 0.25% risk. This was the trade on the 30th of July on gold. So I saw that price had actually rejected off my 4-hour zone here, so I was anticipating that price would break these lower 1-hour zones and then actually head to this 4-hour zone as a TP. However, given that these 1-hour zones are still quite strong zones, I think I was overconfident on this trade breaking the zones given this slowdown in the bullish momentum towards the 4-hour zone. So that's why I took the trade. However, if I had been a bit more careful with this one, I think this trade would have been a no entry because it didn't even fit my original criteria of 4R before taking the trade. So when I saw the next candle actually making a lower high, I entered my trade on the hourly, and then I could have managed the position when this next candle actually closed back into the zone, because I've seen my trades that work out usually don't close back when they have pushed off a 4-hour zone. So I could have either cut off the entire trade here, since it clearly shows that the bullish momentum was still going to carry on. So I took a minus 0.25% loss, which was minus 1R on this trade. So this was a mistake. This was the trade on the 30th of July. So I saw during the pre-London price action, price was actually closing above my 4-hour zone. So when I saw that this candle made a higher low, I actually waited for this candle to flip bullish after creating another lower low, which respected this low in the beginning, but I placed my stop loss below this 1 hour 50%. As it was quite near. In this case, my TP1 was set at the 1 hour zone here. So once price actually pushed up after that in this area here, pushed up and then tapped my 1 hour zone, I dropped down to the 15-minute and I noticed that price actually already broke structure here on the 15-minute, so I trailed my stop loss into profits below this 15-minute zone. And when we came to the New York session, I noticed that the candles were not closing above the 1 hour zone and creating lower highs. So finally, when we had the New York Stock Exchange open, this candle closed below, and when this next candle failed to break the highs, I cut off the entire trade, so end up netting myself with about 3R on the position. So that was my trade recap for the 26th to 30th of July. It was quite a slow week. Price action was very choppy, especially on gold, given that it was stuck inside the range. So hopefully you guys learn from my mistakes as much as I did doing this trade recap. And again, if you have any questions, always feel free to DM me on Instagram and I'll try my best to help you out. So tomorrow I'll be dropping a video on the weekly forecast for GJ and gold, as well as answering some of the Instagram questions that I posted on Friday during that video as well. So keep a lookout.